You could be losing six figures over the course of your career and never see a single withdrawal notice on your bank statement. When we think of a financial disaster, we usually picture a single event: a market crash, a wire transfer scam, or a business deal that goes to zero overnight. But there is a different kind of loss that leaves no paper trail. It doesn't trigger a fraud alert because it looks exactly like a normal middle-class life. This process happens in the background, day by day. You aren't suffering a sum catastrophe. You are making micro trades, swapping decades of future choice for a few months of temporary comfort. To see how this scales, look at Person A and Person B. Both are 22 years old, and both are starting their adult lives with an identical $10,000 in the bank. Person A spends that money on the standard markers of a comfortable 20s. They buy the latest tech, eat at the trending restaurants, and upgrade their wardrobe. Within a year, their balance is zero. Person B takes that same $10,000 and places it into a broad market index fund. They don't touch it, and they don't add another cent to it for the rest of their lives. The prevailing advice for young adults is that your 20s are a decade for exploration and spending. The assumption is that you can always start saving once your career hits its stride. But the math of the stock market suggests otherwise. Capital allocated at age 22 has an advantage that cannot be replicated by larger sums later. Fast forward 10 years. Person A is now 32, earning a higher salary, and decides it is finally time to be responsible. They invest $10,000 of their own. At this point, Person A feels they are on track. They assume a 10-year delay is a manageable gap that won't significantly impact their long-term security. By age 60, Person B's single $10,000 investment from their 20s has grown to $150,000. Person A's account, which sat for 10 fewer years, holds only $57,000. That 10-year delay created a $100,000 gap in their final balance. Waiting until your 30s to start effectively costs you nearly 70% of your potential wealth. This is the result of compound growth, the process where your investment returns begin earning returns of their own. Over decades, this snowball effect does the heavy lifting for you. In this formula, time is a more powerful multiplier than the initial principal. It is the one variable that is impossible to replace once it is spent. Person A likely had the ability to invest in their 20s, but the money was diverted elsewhere before it ever reached a brokerage account. They were caught in lifestyle inflation. This occurs when your personal spending rises at the exact same rate as your paycheck. Every promotion and year-end bonus is absorbed by a larger apartment, a newer car, or more expensive social commitments. This creates a treadmill effect. You feel successful because your income is high, but your net worth remains stagnant because your expenses have expanded to swallow the surplus. Most millionaires don't reach their status through high-consumption lifestyles. A Fidelity study found that 86% of them built their wealth through consistent, long-term investing habits. If your income increases by 20%, but your savings rate stays at zero, you are forcing yourself into a race to catch up to a baseline you could have established years ago. Breaking this cycle isn't about finding a unicorn stock or making a lucky trade. It is about building a system that removes your own willpower from the equation. Rule 1. Start now. The amount matters less than the start date. Triggering the compounding process with $50 today is more effective than waiting until you can afford $500. Rule 2. Automate everything. If you have to remember to invest every month, human error will eventually stop you. Set up automatic transfers so the money is moved to your portfolio before you have the chance to spend it. Rule 3. Cap your lifestyle. When your income goes up, your standard of living stays the same. The difference between your old paycheck and your new one should be routed directly into capital accumulation. Firm. Trading future financial options for a slightly better car today is a common choice, but it is one that requires you to work years longer than necessary. Review your spending from the last 90 days. If your daily expenses haven't left room for an investment account, you aren't just spending money, you are spending your time.